Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and your Sunday series. It's going to be from Katowice 2020. It's going to be SOS versus Maru, a best of 5, starting on Ephemeron. There we go. All right, correct speed. Bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Terran player. It is Maru. And in the top left-hand corner, it is the blue Protoss player, SOS. Two former champions in their own right. Two incredible StarCraft 2 players. Love them both very, very much. And let's go ahead and get right into it. Probe scouting here from SOS. Protoss are the best race for worker scouting. If you're interested in that, Terran sometimes SCV scouts, and Zerg never ever drone scouts at the professional levels. But if you're having trouble knowing what your opponent is doing at the lower levels, go ahead and drone scout. Just see what they're doing around 16 supply. Not right away because, yes, maybe you'll catch a proxy, maybe you'll catch a cannon rush, but if you go around 16... Oh, hold on a second. What is this? Ah, it's just a fake out. There's no forge coming up, SOS. You're trying to fake out and do mind games with Maru. That much is clear. Man, Maru has been having a very, very weird calendar year. Ooh. He has lost to Protoss players like SOS and like Stats just by doing weird things and having weird responses to what the Protoss player is doing. We'll see if Maru is up to the challenge here, though, today. Reaper on the way here. Reaper's name is Pyromaniac. Having dreamed that the Easter Bunny got sick at the eve of Easter, Pyro set it upon himself to proxy in the duties lest sadness and despair set in, delivering all the sweet eggs. Many small puppies would jump with glee at every egg pass. Pyro sets forth to save Easter with a personal touch with his bubble blower. It is magical. I don't know what that was. Somebody under the effects of LSD or something wrote that one, but it was fun to read anyway, so. Hope that's good. Had to mute for a sneeze there, and my back's a little tweaked here. It turns out my office chair here at home is good for casting for, an hour or two or streaming on Twitch. But man, if I'm sitting in it for 8 hours a day because I'm working from home, it actually isn't great. So I might need to get a better office chair. The thing is, really good office chairs with like amazing lumbar support are $500 or more. So I don't know. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but we'll try to find something better. I am working from home, for those of you who are unaware. I've been doing that for a couple of weeks now. It was really kind of a funny story. I woke up one morning and my boss texted me, and I had just woken up when he texted. And it was like, hey, we're working from home starting today. Don't come in. And I was like, wait, what? So, yeah, I was totally on the fly. Nobody was prepared for it at all. Our company does have a VPN for people who work from the road and a couple people who work from home on a permanent basis, but it's been a very rare thing. Now everybody is. So the VPN's been performing well. This allows me to basically remote into my desktop machine at work and do everything that I could do from there, from my house. It's real nice. Really, really nice. So it's been good. All of us are staying healthy. My kids are home from school. They're getting like the craziest extended spring break of all time. I'm kind of jealous. I almost kind of wish I could have had this happen when I was a kid because they were so happy when the announcement came in that schools are shut down. Anyway, it's been good. Hellion comes in, tries to get a bit of a scout off. I mean, here's the thing, right? What's it going to scout? It's going to scout the presence of a Stargate, which it doesn't scout, but it sees the Phoenix, which means it knows there's a Stargate. So Marine production here from Maru, getting some Widow Mines too. Widow Mines good against a Stargate composition, as Widow Mines love to hit Phoenix and one-shot Oracles, and even pretty good against Adepts. I like this opening from Maru quite a bit. He's trying to get a bunker down. Can he get it in time before the army shows up? Definitely not before the Phoenix show up. Nice hit. That's what you want. That's exactly what you want there. Our Widow Mine shots on the Phoenix, bringing them to very close to dead. Nice save there. And Widow Mine shot. Yes, Maru. Getting some Widow Mine shots off. Very nice early here. That helps him immensely in holding this. And SOS has a very bruised army composition. That Adept is near to death. That Phoenix is near to death. Some splash damage hit that other Adept as well, so the shields are low. I like this opening from Maru very, very much, honestly. Ah! I pressed the wrong button. Ugh. Sorry, like stupid NVIDIA overlay came up and took control of the screen for a minute. You didn't see it, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, so Maru holding against the aggressive Protoss stuff. Third base coming up from Maru, back home at about 4 minutes. Just Marine production and medevacs and tanks and Widow Mines and a Cyclone and a Viking. Maru doing all of the things here against Protoss, which is what we've seen him do. Was it? Oh, man. Was it a year ago? Maybe a little bit more when there was that Maru play. Oh, but maybe you can't leave your natural base completely undefended from Phoenix. You know what? Maru doesn't care. He's like, we're going. We're bringing the SCVs. We're dropping Widow Mines in positions where we think Phoenix might fly, but SOS isn't actually coming back to deal with it. What a crazy game number 1 this is. What is happening right now? So he leaves the Cyclone and a Viking be home to defend against this. He's baiting. He's like, hey, come on over here. Come on, there's a Phoenix. I know there are Phoenix out here. Adept comes in for the scout and says, you know what, I think we can take this. So it comes right on up. And yeah, the Adepts are here. The Phoenix are here lifting the Vikings, so it can't shoot anything. The Cyclones are trying to do stuff. Maru jumping right on into SOS's base on the other side. What a crazy game number 1 we have, ladies and gentlemen. SCVs forced to fight for their own lives right now, which is not ideal. And then a recall back home after he kills about 6 SCVs. But he's going to lose the Forge, which is annoying. He's depowered a couple of his Warp Gates, which is annoying. Probes coming in and just getting eviscerated there. Nice lift on the Widow Mine by the Phoenix. Adepts are trying to kill what they can as well. And is Maru actually going to win this game number 1? I don't know. It's a little too chaotic. The Phoenix lifting and killing as best they can. The tank has 4 kills. Oh, actually keeping the tank alive. And the Marines are still here too. Did Maru just win this game? It is 41 to 43 workers. It's a little bit premature to say that it's over, but oh my gosh. Army supplies 25 to 16. This tank is owning right now. Losing the Warp Gates was massive for SOS. He might have taken the 3rd base a little bit too early for this to make any sense for him. Widowmine fires. Adepts trying to do what they can versus these Marines, lifting and killing the Cyclone. Widowmine can't quite shoot right now. The Marine count is not super high, but it is enough, and that is your good game, Maru. Maru ends up taking game number 1 here in 6.5 minutes. Wow. I did not expect that kind of a game 1 from Maru. I love that SOS is flying around with Phoenix and shading with the depths. And Maru's like, whatever, I'm just going to go kill you. How's that sound? The fact that SOS took a 3rd base was a little bit too greedy, as Maru was going for a 2-base attack pretty much the whole time. I guess he has a 3rd CC here, but I don't think he was ever intending on landing it, really, once the attack started to go as well as it did. But yeah, once the bunker finished, SOS knew that he was done. Resources lost here, 3,800 for the Protoss and 2,500 for Maru, which isn't really that much of a difference, but in a game 1 6-minute scenario, that's pretty good. 15 Adepts down for only 14 Marines. That's a great trade overall. Only 1 Widow Mine died. A couple Warp Gates going down early was really big, depowering them and then killing them later. And fantastic display here from Maru in game number 1 of this best of 5. We'll give him a 1 next to his name. And we'll move on to game number 2. Eternal Empire here for game number 2 between the 2 players. It's going to be Maru top right, SOS bottom left. All right, what are we doing here today? It's going to be another probe scout, maybe another fake out cannon rush. Maru responded to that perfectly. Woo! Hey, did you know that I cast live StarCraft 2? We had about 350 people watching last night. Let's see, last night was the 20th, March 20th, over on africatv.com/laughingames, as we had yet another Africa World tournament. We have one of those every 2 weeks. It's basically 2 best of 5s and a best of 7. It doesn't go very long. This one clocked at under 3 hours. And yeah, Bomber won. So if you want to see Bomber play, you want to see Astrea, you want to see players like Sort of. And who was the other player that I'm forgetting right now? Don Regu accepted the invite for this one that time around. This feels more like a real proxy though. Oh yeah. This is SOS going for... Okay, so he's getting his gas. It's going to be a gateway. Just a depth proxy? That could be interesting. If Maru doesn't scout this and goes for a regular 1 Rax expand, he could be in trouble. Could be in a bit of trouble here. Alright, so what are we doing? What's the response going to be? SCV comes down, goes for the scout, not actually looking around his own natural base, which is unfortunate for him. This is a great little hidey hole pocket for proxy stuff. I sort of like it. We have a Reaper on the way here too. Reaper's going to be important, and SOS is actually expanding. This is interesting. I don't know that I've seen this aggressive of a proxy and then a quick expansion behind it. Usually you're going to go for like another gateway or some more gateways back home and research Warp Gate. And nah, man, this is just making a Zealot, trying to deny the natural base, just like Zerg players do with Zerglings. Now, at this point, he should know there's a pylon missing. So Maru should be like, aha, I only see 1 pylon in your entire base and your natural. There's one missing somewhere. So how do I handle this? Reaper out, immediately starts a bunker. He knows something is coming, but he doesn't know when it is. Look at the Zealot. We're just coming on up, and we're going to try to kill some stuff. So we'll kill this SCV quite possibly. Yep. Got it. Reapers take about 100 hits to kill a Zealot. So the bunker's not going to come up anytime soon here. Just ring around the rosy play. The delay on the natural is really good. It's really fantastic here. Man, that Zealot's going to get a couple SCV kills here and prevent the bunker from going down. I really like this. What I don't understand is why he's going for an expansion behind it. I kind of feel like another gateway here and more Zealots would be fine, but Reaper trying to get some stuff done. Marine does get focused down there. No surround possible on the Stalker, but the bunker comes up. And the Stalker manages to escape with a couple kills. So this has been pretty good. It's been pretty good here out of SOS. I like it quite a bit. I'm going to save the Reaper name because this is pretty intense. I don't have enough time to read this like 8-line Reaper name, which is really good. We'll get to it. Just not right now. So Stalker comes out and is trying to get out of here, but the body block is real. No, gets through the block and ends up getting killed. I don't know what that turnback was from SOS. Maybe a misclick. Sometimes that be hurting quite a bit, ladies and gentlemen. Twilight Council on the way from SOS at the follow-up. Natural base just now finishing for Maru and just now upgrading it to an orbital command. So SOS is ahead in total number of bases. Army supply, however, is 9-0, 11-0 in favor of Maru. So SOS has a ton of probes and absolutely no army whatsoever. He's trying to get a Stalker out back home. He's trying to get Resonating Glaives. Warp Gate is almost done. So he should have an army here sooner rather than later, as he does have... My goodness, he only has one gateway. He's warping into more. So he's not going to have much of an army. I kind of feel like Maru should just move out at this point. He has this humongous army advantage, but, you know, he doesn't know is the thing. Dang, this Reaper's getting some stuff done. He's already got 2 kills. He's going to get a 3rd kill. I am not sure what this probe was doing down here. Maybe trying to go for a 3rd base, which would be hilarious. What is this skin? I have no idea what that skin is for that Stalker. Makes them look really tall. It's like they have beehive hairdos. Like a Marge Simpson kind of a thing. Oh, there are gateways coming up north. Okay, so SOS is just going to be proxying all the livelong day here with Resonating Glaive Adepts. First of all, does he think he's playing a PvZ? Second of all, does he think this is early Legacy of the Void when Adepts were exceptionally good versus Terra because they 2-shot Marines? They haven't 2-shot Marines for a very long time. But alright, Marine drop in here, liking that from Maru, liking it a lot, killing a bunch of these probes, focusing them down, trying to kill Stalkers as possible. The probes forced to fight for their own selves here, but 12 probes go down thanks to the attack with the Hellions into the natural base too. So SOS used to have a massive economy advantage. And now he is way down, 35-19 on worker count. That is brutal. Look at that. Look at that jump up and income advantage for Maru there. As all those probes die. Adepts. They need to do something, but there's a tank. There's a bunker with a bunch of Marines in it. There's more Marines in production. I don't know what these Adepts are going to be able to do. These Hellions still... 9-kill Hellion? What? That's a 9-kill Hellion. More probes die. These Hellions are willing to sacrifice their own lives for the Terran Commander Maru because they believe in him. Excellent. All right, so Adepts, this is sort of a you need to get something done here play because it's 40-15 total workers, which is insanity. Oh, the Wall-Off versus the Adepts. Maru, you are a god. You are a god among men, and Maru takes the 2-0 lead. SOS going for some shenanigans in both of these games. Maru weathers the storm, handles it, and then the counterattack is absolutely brutal, and then the counterattack is held. This is some really great stuff from Maru. I haven't seen him play this well in a PvT, or a TVP, I guess, in a long time. I'm very happy, though. 6 Marines, a Reaper, 3 Hellions, and 4 SCVs for 3 Stalkers, an Adept, 2 Zealots, and 22 Probes, in addition to a Gateway. Again, I kind of feel like SOS was too greedy once more. It just comes down to he got the natural base, probed up a whole ton, had nothing for army, as was evident when a Hellion attack at the natural base came in and a Marine attack happened in the main. He didn't have anything. He didn't have enough to cover both of his bases there. He was trying to be all sneaky with the shenanigan proxy warp gates, which didn't do anything anyway. Maru just playing this so well. I don't think he could do it any better in response to what SOS was doing here today. So great job by him, but another little 5-minute game. Let's move on into game number 3. All right, we're suddenly here on the rubber match on Nightshade, the latter edition. Maru up 2-0 against SOS. Really just responding to shenanigans from SOS. This is a weird PvT series, you guys. Bottom right-hand corner, Maru. Top left corner, it's going to be SOS. Wow. Anyway, so africatv.com/laughinggames out there every couple of weeks. Pretty much going to be on a Friday, Saturday, or a Sunday, so people can generally have some time to watch it and whatnot. But yeah, check it out. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Falcon Paladin for more information about that. Or just follow Africa TV out on Twitter. They also announce it when it's going to happen too. So we're proxying, man. Maru does not give me any time to plug anything in this game. Honestly, this is why you probe scout. So early warning, this is such a nice benefit for Protoss to be able to probe scout early, not have it harm their economy, and be like, yes, well, I see nothing at home. There are no barracks or anything coming up, no gas whatsoever, no command center. It's probably some kind of a proxy. So this is what I'm going to do. Not going to take my expansion. That's number one. And then number two, maybe scout around a bit and try to see what is coming up nearer to my house. Just a double barracks. There is one gas coming up here. It could be Marauders. I do enjoy a good Marauder proxy. Let's see what we get on this first barracks, though. Probably a Marine? Yeah, one Marine, just to protect the barracks from any probes that try to wander over this way. Zealot on the way. Yeah, Cybercore immediately coming up from SOS, not walling off. And Maru, yeah. There's not an expansion coming up, Maru. There's nothing for you to proxy here. You can't just set up with a bunker and call it a day and shut down your opponent's expansion, because there isn't one. He knows. He knows what's coming. Zealot on the way. His goal is going to be to try to deny this bunker. This could just be very well a quick 3-0 out of Maru, which would be insanity. So Zealot can handle the Marine and the two SCVs here, but as more Marines are coming in, that bunker is going to finish. The question is, can you get up the ramp? There's going to be a Stalker at the top of the ramp. There's going to be, what else are we doing here? He's double gassing his SOS, which I'm not sure you necessarily need to be doing here. I mean, killing probes is nice. If the Zealot doesn't want to engage, he doesn't have to engage, and the Marines don't have to engage him. Zealot down. Nicely done by Maru. Stalker desperately holding on with all he can do here, and he does force Maru back down the ramp. Everybody is pretty injured here. Maybe going into the bunker, but SOS isn't going to go in range of that bunker at all. So it is a bunch of Marines. What's the follow-up? There's a factory. Okay, so that's what the gas is for. It's going to be for factory units. Got ourselves a robotics facility from SOS. What are we doing with that? Disruptor and Immortal would be pretty good. Not amazing against Marines, but pretty good at staying alive in situations like this. And then the barracks scouts in, sees what's up, sees the robotics facility, sees the double gateway, sees the one base in it. And Maru himself is also one base in it. So it seems like neither of these players are interested in going into the macro on any level today. It is crazy. This is the third game in a row where we're having insanity happen already at the 3-minute mark. Already earlier than that. Thank you very much. Probe trying to see, is there a natural? The Marine says, you can't see in my natural base. You get out of here. Shoo, scram. You can't hide in corners. Yeah, that's a juke. Nicely done by SOS. Yeah, so bunker getting some damage done on the Stalkers. I mean, you can't really kill this bunker this way. Not with two Stalkers. It's not going to happen. Probe, are you really going to try to expand down here? It seems like a poor idea. Ooh. Can that bunker hit? I mean, SOS, I'm pretty sure he doesn't think the bunker can hit, but I think the bunker can hit. Anyway, got our first Cyclone moving out across the map here. We're making a command center inside the house and a starport to follow. Bunker. Ah, they got the SCV. They got the SCV, and the War Prism Micro is nuts, and the expansion goes down, and a Cyclone shows up, tries to kill the War Prism, but very smartly breaks that lock on, and then the Cyclone has to flee. So not too shabby. Great hold there from SOS. Scouting everything still to this day. Robotics Bay and Warp Prism speed being researched. SOS on one base is going for Warp Prism speed. He is planning on some shenanigans. You got a pylon coming up down here at the 6 o'clock position on the map. Cyclones showing up. Army supply 16 to 15. Worker count is pretty even too, but SOS's natural base, well, natural base is pretty even on the timings as well. As Mars is finishing up on the high ground, and SOS is about 50% complete on the low ground already. Scouting Barracks does not make it home. Stalker's showing up here from SOS, and there's not a tank out yet. So I think maybe coming up, I mean, at the very least, killing a supply depot and maybe supply blocking Maru would be nice. There is a Viking to handle the War Prism, because again, Maru knows that it's there. So it's not a supply block. Maru does have a little bit more supply than he needs at the moment, which is really, really nice for him. Sets up the tank. And now Stalkers can't do a whole lot unless you get out of range of the tanks. Oh, he's going to jump on this one. This tank does get a single shot off. 2 shots off before it dies. And 3 of the Stalkers make it out of there in time. I can't believe this barracks is still scouting around. I don't know what you're planning on seeing, but no, there are no start gates. No, there are no additional work gates past what you saw previously. Charge on the way. Dark Shrine coming in. Kind of loving that. Oh, there was a disruptor. And it's dead due to the Vikings. So, 35 to 34 workers. Not a significant drop in the worker count for Maru at all. So that disruptor didn't hit anything. Army supply is up for Maru at this stage. 17 to 13. But again, pretty even across the board. Pretty wild spikes in the income right now. We're looking at it favoring SOS quite a bit. Interestingly enough, I don't know what the difference is here. I guess mules are just now coming in, so yeah, it's going to drop down to Maru's now. Yeah, mule drops kind of cause problems there. We actually get a 3rd command center today, which I guess we have had a 3rd CC in the series already before, but it never landed. So this one might actually end up landing, which would be a lot of fun. War Prism comes home, 3rd base for SOS, and somehow we might have actually transitioned into a standard macro game at this stage. I mean, if you came into the match here, you'd assume that nothing weird happened, right? You'd assume that Maru's on 2 bases, he's getting his 3rd. SOS's 3rd base is coming up. It's a little bit late on the timings, but otherwise, yeah, it kind of makes sense here. Charge coming in, not being Chrono Boost, actually. And the DTs are warping in. DTs and Zealots warping in here. He's going to pick up one of the DTs, meet up with the rest of his army, and try to come in here and get some stuff done. Oh my gosh, but remember how the War Prism, he gets the unload just barely, but there is a scan available. And the DT gets out of range of the scan, but there's another scan. I mean, here we go. Scan, murder. Okay, well, we're attacking into the front here with Zealots and DTs and Stalkers. Oh my, tank gets focused down. Scan on that DT does wipe him out. But DTs are inside the mineral line at the natural base. 14 SCVs have gone down. The natural base of Maru's is in complete shambles right now. And goodbye. Supply depots. Army supply 25 to 20 right now. SOS has a bit of an advantage, but he's up 44 to 36 in worker count. He really wants to get these supply depots, I think. I mean, as long as you're here. This DT is still invisible. More charge lots coming in on the reinforcements. Just absolutely attacking into a choke. He does not care at all about these Marines or the SCVs or the Viking. 26 SCVs down. Maru is on his last legs, everybody. He scans to see what he's dealing with on the other side. Does SOS have a big army or not? And by golly, he certainly does. So Maru's economy a bit in the toilet here. Back up to SOS's side on the income graph. And SOS, again, fighting for his life right now. He needs to kill Maru or he just gets 3-0'd by a Terran player. In fairness, it is Maru. There's not much shame in getting 3-0'd by a Terran player, but on the other hand, Maru has significantly struggled versus Protoss, again, over the last calendar year. War Prism trying to sneak on in here. Does sneak on in here, and DT's coming in again. Are there scans available? No. Oh, no. There are no scans available. SCV count is getting absolutely destroyed here. He's got a Raven, though. All right. Raven, nice. Attacking to the front. It's a bit of a wall attempt. And the bunker repair is pretty nice, actually, here out of Maru. But it's not enough to save it. We're into the house with the Zealots. The Marines behind the SCVs who are body blocking are doing fairly well here. And Maru does manage to hold, but loses 13 more SCVs when all is said and done. The income is about 1,800 per minute higher for SOS right now. He's got his 3rd base up and happily running. It's oversaturated even. And I don't know what Maru can do in this stage. He just does not have the income necessary to win anything. I understand he's got mules. I understand that Terrans are not dead until they are dead. Man, saw a fantastic game last night as casting as part of the Africa World. It was Maru versus Bomber versus sort of This Banshee trying to do some stuff, but dead. I mean, did get some stuff done there, but anyway, yeah. Bomber was down to like 12 SCVs and sort of was at like 60 workers. And then Bomber came back and won. It was absolutely nuts. It was a crazy, crazy comeback. It's stuff that we see. We see it sometimes, though. Terran, best comeback potential of anybody in all of StarCraft. I'm going to try to push out with some Marines here, but like he doesn't have a third base, and that's just huge. Colossus are out. Oh, no. Colossus are out. Your Marines and your SCVs, just not going to happen. I don't know if you have the Viking count to handle those. Tanks can be pretty good against Colossus, too, but at this stage, SOS has 3 bases. Warp Prism trying to get a DT in there, but the Raven really shutting that down pretty effectively thus far today. All right, SOS coming in. A bunch of charge lots. Working on their 2-2. Actually, they're 2-1. Yeah? Yeah, 2-1 with the attack. Marines do find a little proxy down here to the south. He's like, all right, I didn't see a Dark Shrine in any of the scans I tossed anywhere on SOS's bases, so definitely there's a proxy somewhere, and he does end up finding it. 61 to 58 army supply is not that big of an advantage for SOS, but the problem is Colossus exist. The charge lots are really good versus Marines too. And as long as Maru doesn't get a third, I'm not sure that SOS really needs to attack on into this natural at all. I mean, he's getting mined out of his main base. His natural base is... Oh, we're pulling the boys. All right, never mind. Maru has no interest in getting a third base today. We're going to pull all the SCVs out, see what we can get done. There are Colossus here, though. Nice interference matrix there. On both of the Colossus, they can run, but they can't actually attack right now. And Maru kind of in a better position than I thought he was going to be in. Interference matrix does wear off. SOS wants to pull back to where he has some stalkers to fall back to. Maru cannot stop. He has pulled his boys. He needs to kill now. His income is nothing in comparison to SOS's. Did you get a Viking there? I think he's able to snipe a Viking there. And coming up this ramp is just ultimate death right now. I don't think Maru should go up that ramp. Going over here is maybe a little bit more preferable. What is he getting in over here? Oh, just warp it in some zealots. No big deal. We'll kill your reinforcements. So here's the engagement. Colossus doing great work. Tanks fire on him pretty effectively. One of the Colossus goes down. The tanks are doing really well target firing there against the Colossus, by the way. Something you need to do, Protoss players. But it's 30 SCVs down. This is it. If you win with this, you win. If you lose with this, you lose. Maru taking down pylons. No probes have actually died, but yeah, there's no income whatsoever for the Terran player right now. And there we go. Sandwiching them in there. This Colossus goes down. The tank is alive with 3 total kills. The Marines are trying to handle it, but the stalker count is too high. Tank down. Marines trying to fight. They don't have the upgrades, and good game. SOS does manage to live to fight another day. Wow. I'm going to check the upgrades real quick. It is 1-1 for Maru, but it's 2 attack for SOS. He has the advantage. He has the charge, combat shield, and stimmer done because you never skip those if your game is long enough to allow them. And yeah, at the end of the day, it was really just SOS's harassment. The DT's in there, the Zealots in there, killing SCVs pretty much the entire game. 72 SCVs were killed, which is a massive number. And Maru just couldn't economically keep up here in this the third game. So we're going to move into a game number 4 here. See what happens next. I assume it's going to be an excellent one. These have been really, really fun games so far. So stick with it. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. Simulacrum. Maru top left. SOS bottom right. All right, so Falcon Paladin Hour. Quick plug for that one. Just search Falcon Paladin on your podcast app. You will find a place where myself and Samacron discuss important things in nerd culture, like TV shows, books, movies, and StarCraft, obviously. Other video games that we're playing, come check it out. Search Falcon Paladin on your podcast app, no matter what app it is. You can also find us on the internet. You can listen to us through our webpage as well. Just Falcon Paladin Hour there. In addition, find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Falcon Paladin. I'm out there playing StarCraft 2. I'm out there playing things like the Halo, what is it called? The Halo Master Chief Collection, where there's remastered editions of all of the Halo games. We're going through, actually just finished up Halo Combat Evolved recently, which was a ton of fun. I mean, that was my first, it was my first personally owned console game back when I was in college. And it was a good time. It was a really good time. The first Xbox was the first console that I purchased. There's something nostalgic about Halo for sure, back in like 2004 or so. Regardless, probe scouting around, trying to stay alive, killing SCVs, trying to see the timings on the gas and whatnot. And back home, no shenanigans. So nobody proxying today. It does feel like as we get further along in the series, players are less likely to go for risky strats. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Either way, Maru does feel pretty safe in throwing down an expansion down here. That's why there are 2 SCVs on location. I'm going to try to get the probe out. I mean, you're not going to get it. Oh, hold on. Ah, jinxed it. Nicely done. Great play lifting the supply depot and then pinning it down and killing it. Reaper on the way. Reaper's name is Wilkins. Wilkins is the Muppet grandfather of Kermit the Frog. He loved trying to sell Wilkins coffee to Wontkins, who absolutely despised Wilkins coffee. Wilkins' tactics to convince Wontkins to buy the coffee included stabbing, shooting guns, shooting cannons, making Wontkins live a continued existence of endless dread and acts of domestic terrorism. Emperor Mensk found Wilkins' antics hilarious rather than concerning and even bought a can of Wilkins coffee. Then he drank it, but after drinking the caffeinated sludge, he sent Wilkins to the Reaper program. This is a reference to Jim Henson's Wilkins coffee commercials from the 50s. They might be my favorite commercials of all time. If you haven't seen these, I discovered them earlier this year, and oh my gosh, they bring me so much joy. It's this little Kermit. He's not quite Kermit. He's not like the Kermit that you know today, but he's 1950s version Kermit. And he's like, hey there, other Muppet, you want to try some Wilkins coffee? And the dude's like, nah, not interested. And then he just shoots him in the face. Like, it's some of the most incredible commercial writing I've ever seen. I mean, they're all like this. There's another one where they're flying in a little biplane 2-seater. He's like, hey, did you bring the Wilkins coffee? And Wilkins is like, nah, I don't like that stuff. And then Wilkins turns the plane upside down and the other Muppet falls to his death. I mean, I love puppets. It's probably because I was raised on Sesame Street as a kid. That makes a ton of sense. But holy smokes, watching puppets murder each other in cold blood is quite possibly one of my favorite things of all time. I'll put a link, if I forget, remind me, but I'll put a link in the description here to the Wilkins coffee commercials. There's just something inherently wonderful about watching a black and white Kermit gleefully murder another puppet over his coffee choices. We need to bring these back, is what I'm saying. I want to see more of these on TV. Okay, StarCraft is happening. The Reaper's doing stuff. Hasn't killed anything yet. Alien out. Weird pylon placement here from SOS. I guess maybe trying to set up for an expansion, I suppose. Not as weird as I thought upon first glance. Widow Mines and a medevac. Are we going to see a standard Widow Mine drop opening from Maru? I haven't seen one of those today at all. Ooh, Wilkins dead. A little bit of revenge there. Probably that was Wilkins. Whichever of these adepts got him. It's that one. It was definitely this one right here. Hellion trying to make stuff happen. Adepts take him down. Okay, SOS playing this well. He might indeed force a game number 5 here. He's going for Resonating Glaives. Loving that. He's got a bunch of adepts out. Again, going for this Resonating Glaives adept thing. It is really more of a PvZ strategy, but we're seeing it attempted here versus Terran regardless, and I kind of like it. Widow Mine's cruising on in. Look at this. Can you see that on the minimap? Just barely. Just barely see that on the minimap down in the bottom left here. So the adepts are trying to move in. Their Resonating Glaive attack is done. The upgrade is complete. I think maybe they could sit back here and get something done, but oh no. SOS. Response time? No response time at all. 12 probes get wrecked. That was the worst response to that I've ever seen. I mean, I guess for a pro. Anyway, the adepts are up here. They're doing pretty well, but the bunker is worth its weight in gold right now, which is why the adepts are desperately trying to kill it, but the repair on the bunker is real, and he can't get up there, and there's tanks here too. Holy crap. 9 SCVs go down, but not enough to really consider Maru dead here. The Widow Mines do get picked up and re-exploded on things. Adepts still shading around, trying to do what they can, but the tank on the high ground, I just don't... Yeah. It's just trying to make sure there's not any mining happening back here at Maru's natural base. Not bad. So Maru is up in economy, 39 to 31 workers. Army supply is virtually even. Adepts continuing to shade up here. I really like Maru's position here. He's got the better economy, and assuming he can get rid of these Adepts, which now that there's a tank here, he certainly can. Are they going to cancel that Shade? No, they evacuate. They evacuate from the premises. All right, so actually no. SOS is back up in worker count. Chrono Boost is good, everybody. Sometimes I forget. We're going to try to Widow Mine again. Yes, we are. And one probe dies. A fair trade. Auto turret harassed from a Raven here at the natural base. I mean, it exploded before they killed it, so whatever. Alright, pro income, I'm going to guess it's pretty all over the place. Yes, but Maru has the lead right now because of the presence of the mules in the natural base, especially. So third base trying to be set up to the north here. Or maybe, again, this is just vision for potential Widow Mine attacks coming out of those medevacs. That said, didn't really help him see this one coming. He was so focused up here on the natural base. That was nuts. I don't know that I've ever seen that in a professional level game before, where there's no probe response at all from the Protoss. He was really laser focused up here. So Adepts get into the mineral line of Maru, take down several of his SCVs. And by that I mean 2. And then a tank set up to make sure the natural base is pretty well protected. Actually 2 tanks from Adept attacks. So I'd say so far so good here for Maru. Third base, SOS really looks like he wants to take one up there, but he's not. He's going for Colossus first. Is he getting extended thermal lance would be the question. You know what? I don't know that he is, strangely enough. So he's rushing to Colossus here. The tank count, though, once again, pretty high. You got to worry about those tanks if you're going to go Colossus versus Terran. I know that Maru is pretty in love with his Marines, but he's got a bunch of Marauders here, too. I don't feel good about this choice whatsoever. I mean, they're great at picking Widow Mines out of the ground. There you go. Third base from SOS starting to warp in right now. Any sign of a third CC? Production tab says yes. Or orbital command upgrade anyway. Ah, there it is. Okay. So he's got a third CC. It's not on location quite yet. We'll get there. Mortal production here from SOS. Trying to move on into, ooh, actually War Prism speed. Loving that. And a Templar Archives. So he's kind of getting all of the tech right now, with the exception of a Stargate. Hasn't really been in love with that here today at all. Getting that Raven would be massive, which is why Maru is pulling back. So again, Marauder count 5, 3 tanks, and Marines with Widow Mines. Marine drop in the main base, causing some problems. Probes, oh man, 12, 13, 14 probes going down there. Brutal stuff. Is there not a response to this at all? Oh my gosh, the Artosis Pylon. Oh, the Artosis Pylon depowering 3 warp gates, tech structures galore. Auto turrets getting tossed down. SOS's third base is not going to happen at all. I mean, there's an attempt up here. Oh, Colossus drop. It's Colossus drops happening. The main Nexus goes down for SOS. It's 71 to army supply in favor of Maru, and you will be a champ, says SOS. Good game, Maru is your winner. 9 minutes and 22 seconds, gets the win, 3-1. A little bit of some encouragement there from SOS at the end of the match towards Maru. You will be a champ. And he moves on in to the next round here at Katowice. What a display from Maru. Finally gets that big win against an elite Protoss player in a premier tournament. Turns it around. I really hope this year is going to be the year of Maru. It looks like he's playing so much better than he has in the past. Loving it so very, very much. He's actually playing in GSL right now, so I assume we'll get some good GSL performance out of him. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. By the time actually this posts, some of that will be in the bag in all actuality. So that's kind of a fun little thumbnail there too, isn't it? Partially exploding gateway. It's not visually gone, but it's dead. You can't click on it. One of my favorite animations is exploding Protoss buildings. Anyway, good stuff. Really fun. A bunch of short games, to be honest, but really fun nevertheless. Good mind games going back and forth there. Good counterattacks and attacks and adjusting to what your opponent is doing. And just this drop right here was so destructive for SOS at the end of the day. Loved it. Loved the auto turrets. Loved the Marauder count as high as it was. And yeah, this Colossus shenanigan was really cute, but not going to be enough. And Maru kind of makes Terran look overpowered in this matchup, which is not what anybody has said ever in a very, very long time. Anyway, that is going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and your Sunday series. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.